Alright, you dog lovers, time to give you guys a little something nice for once. It's time to review Bolt, also known as Boruto! What? Isn't this what you wanted? I mean, it's Bolt in Japanese. Well, I guess I'm playing to an empty audience. Again.
Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you when the feeling goes. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too.
Now, to be honest, I really do like this movie. It was the third major CGI Disney film after Disney decided to end their run on mostly traditional animation after failing with Home on the Range. While Chicken Little obviously isn't the first time they delved into the realm of pure computer animation, as I believe Dinosaur was the first attempt to do it entirely like it. I might be wrong. It did show a change in progression as they tried to adapt. It started bad, then got a little better with Meet the Robinsons, and then here? Well, why don't we take a further look and see why this helped play a role in making the new Disney Renaissance. We open in an animal rescue center with a rather adorable looking puppy Bolt, who will later have the voice of John Travolta, doing what normal puppies would do. Play with chew toys, at least until his eventual owner shows up, Penny, who later grows up into Miley Cyrus, who will later grow up to become a country singer before eventually growing up to do Wrecking Ball. But it all seems simple. Girl meets dog, she adopts, and they're to live an honest life. Such is the way of growing up. However...
Hello?
Penny, I don't have much time.
Daddy? Are you okay?
Something's come up at work, honey. Daddy's not gonna be home for a while.
I don't understand.
You can't go back to the house, Penny. Okay?
What's happening?
It's all right. You won't be alone. You have Bolt. I've altered him. He can protect you now.
Yeah, you know how I said I was going to use him to find a cure for dog allergies? Well, someone already beat me to it, so I decided to give him superpowers. So yeah, it seems with this movie, it's going for like a Spy Kids theme where a young girl and her superpowered dog have to save her father while constantly thwarting the plans of the evil Dr. Calico, voiced by Malcolm McDowell, who of course has his own villain cats. Because what madman doesn't have one of those? At least he just has that and oh wait, it seems his goons have cat motifs. Tattoos, the super soldiers with cat-like claws. Yeah, is this going to turn into a repeat of last time? Am I gonna have to kill again? At least the action is interesting this time. Combining spy tech with a superpowered dog, Penny is able to evade goons and manage Bolt's actions while still taking care of herself even without him. Actually, this is starting to remind me of The Incredibles now, and she would easily be the Batgirl of that universe. Bolt would be more like Crypto the Superdog, minus the ability to fly, as he seems to have his standard abilities of super strength, super speed, heat vision, and of course, a super bark. Nice. But here's the twist. It was all fake. Yep, that was actually part of a TV show they're a part of, which is also called Bolt. meaning my earlier cat complaints are now nullified because that's not even a part of the movie. It's part of the TV show within a movie. If anything, there's only one real bad cat here, and that's this one. The other one is more of a Bolt fan who hangs out with the wrong people.
Hello, hairballs.
You may have won today, Bolt. But in the end, we will get your little penny.
Not likely, Cat, for you've chosen to follow the path of evil. Ultimately, it will destroy you, along with your fiendish puppet master. Wow.
I know, right? Okay, what's this? She's a goner, dog. The Green-Eyed Man has a plan, and soon he will execute it.
Yeah, and then he will execute her.
Nice.
I would super bark you both back into the hole you crawled out of, but I need you alive because I've got a little message for you to take back to your Green-Eyed Man. You tell him his old friend Bolt said he better...
Is it long?
Is what long?
The message? Is it a long message? Because I have a horrible memory.
Now, even though there are only ever 3 cats in this movie, the fact that 2 counteract this one, who is a real jerk, mean that even in this movieverse, animals have no natural affinity to either good or evil. For like people, they can be anything. This is something that movies or shows tend to overdo, so it's refreshing that this movie only ever does it in an isolated manner, and not ever let it become a rule. Also, in regards to Bolt, this is one of those characters whose prejudice against cats is actually justified, because that was how he was taught. Sorta. I mean, let's listen to the director, who seems to be taking this way too seriously for his own good, but let's just hear what he has to say about his methods.
You see a dog. I see an animal who believes with every fiber of his being, every fiber, that the girl he loves is in mortal danger. I see a depth of emotion on the face of that canine, the likes of which has never been captured on screen before. Never, Mindy from the network. We jump through hoops to make sure that Bolt believes everything is real. It's why we don't miss marks. It's why we don't reshoot. And it's why we most certainly do not let the dog see boom mics. Because, Mindy from the network, if the dog believes it, the audience believes it.
There is logic in what he says.
I mean, really think about it. You can train a dog to do just about anything it's capable of, and the implication that they did so much to convince him that these super acts of heroism were real when it's really fake is all you would need to understand that this sort of thing can happen, even if it's just a little exaggerated. And because animals in this movie can talk and have personalities, that could easily make out his identity. He's literally Buzz Lightyear, where his character arc involves being someone he's not in a real environment that isn't like what he's known, and needs time to understand that everything he knows is wrong. Now about Penny, sadly she doesn't have that much development time, as she's really more of a goalpost for Bolt during his character development. I mean, Penny tries to keep to her job, but she also feels sad that Bolt is becoming less like what he used to be, and more like an emotionless, by-the-numbers hero dog. Even her mother thinks they should go out to their country home to maybe loosen him up, but their agent says otherwise.
Has to stay right here. Okay, let's go.
But he never gets to be a real dog. And it would only be for the weekend, and I just
Well,
want...
you know what? It's a fair question. Let's do this. Let's put a pin in it. Boop, pin in.
Yeah, you know where I like to stick my pin in? Right up your asshole. We get a brief glimpse of what shooting is like without most of the special effects, and it still astounds me how they managed to do this all in one take. These people must have the diligence and patience of saints if they are capable of performing all these lines and acting out every single movement without skipping a beat. Why are they in the TV show business? Movies is what they should be going for. Do a James Bond thing and just turn your series into different films with different story arcs and stuff. Of course, because the network is tired of happy endings, they throw in a twist by having Calico capture Penny.
How did your focus groups feel about cliffhangers? You ask. For unhappy 18 to 35-year-olds, I give you unhappy 18 to 35-year-olds.
Sounds like how audiences would act if Pokemon ever got dark again. Oh, and about Calico? He has no part in the main story at all. Nope. Even though he's on the box art of the DVD with the other main characters, he does nothing to affect anyone's character personally. He doesn't have any personal goals. He doesn't do anything to stop the main characters from progressing. He is merely another actor for the TV show bits.
Kidnapped by the fiendish Dr. Calico. At least that's what the dog needs to think. But just imagine. Close your eyes and imagine how excited he'll be when he saves you tomorrow. Okay?
But he's gonna be freaking out all night. Please, just let me.
Wait a second. What's that behind your ear? Is that a... Yes, it is. It's a pin. Let's do this. Let's take the pin and put it in this conversation. Boop.
I like to take my pin to your idea. Is this really wise? Do you really want to leave Bolt alone when he has a chance to maybe break out to look for her? Oh hey, what do you know?
Hey, hold on, Penny! Hold on!
Oh, hello!
Penny!
So he's accidentally transported all the way to New York. How he got through airport security, I question. But yeah, he's lost and finds himself unable to use his powers. He gets himself trapped in a fence after being leashed and has to be saved by pigeons. And of course, they're of the dumb kind where they only know things when convenient.
What are these things? They've weakened me.
Oh, those are styrofoam packing peanuts.
Styrofoam. This has the green-eyed man written all over it.
And I thought copper was a dumb weakness to have, but styrofoam? You would have to really be overpowered if that is all it takes to depower you.
I need someone on the inside, someone close to the green-eyed man. A cat.
Oh, a cat?
Yeah, a cat. When I find him, ooh, when I find him, I'm gonna make that cat wish you were never born.
Okay, what did that director teach you to make you think that all cats are tied to one guy? Associations and allegiances are two different things, and you can't just assume that just because of what they are. Makes you sound like them anti-folk who think that just because you're part of some culture or race means you're somehow against their society. Either way, this leads to our third main character, Mittens, voiced by Susie Essman. She's an alley cat who seems to enjoy forcing pigeons into getting food for her. Almost like she's some sort of New Yorkian godmother, without the passe. What, does it really take the mention of claws just to become like an alley queen? Why do you owe her food? Well, whatever, Bolt shows up to handle her.
Where is she?
Who?
You know why I'm here. Where is she?
Okay. Look, buddy, I don't know what you're getting at, but...
Come on, Mittens. Just tell the guy where she is.
Wait a minute. Oh my god, they do kind of resemble them. Who would have thought? So what's he gonna do? Eat her? Well, no, that'd be too cruel. Maybe just rough her up, toss her around, hang her over the side of a bridge. What the hell?
You work for the men in black, who work for the man with the green eye. They've taken Penny. Where is she?
Where are they? Killing is making a choice. Where are they?
You just can't stop lying, can you, cat? It's in the genes. It's just gross.
Let's see. Adding the director of your show to the hit list. And perfect. You know, I should really start adding more to this. She does manage to spot his tag having his Hollywood home address and uses that as a way to tell him where Penny is, while playing along with him possibly being crazy, but of course she's forced into coming along anyway because cat bigotry. Instead of like in Homeward Bound where animals walk, They ride vehicles across the country. In this instance, a U-Haul truck. Though, after crossing into Ohio, Mittens takes her first stab at trying to knock out Mr. Crazy Paws, resulting in a humorous bit.
Styrofoam! Tuck and roll!
Tuck it what?
Ow. What is this red liquid coming from my paw?
It's called blood, hero.
Must have been the, oh, styrofoam! That stuff, it weakens me!
Aha!
What are you doing? Put that down!
All right, that's it. I've had it with you. Untie me, Pooch. Or I'm gonna seriously wound you. I'm gonna seriously wound you with this styrofoam.
Are you mad? You don't know the power of styrofoam!
Oh, you bet I'm mad, baby. And I'm about to unleash it. The power of the styrofoam.
Her plan fails, however now Bolt is hungry. What, he never experiences his stomach rumbling while in Hollywood? So she takes him to a nearby trailer park where she plans to have him use his cute dog Charm to get food, or the antidote in his eyes. But he doesn't know how since, well, you know. So she teaches him.
All I'm asking you to do is just tilt your head a little. You could do that, can't you? Come on. More. More.
This is stupid.
No, come on. Work with me on this, please. You're almost there.
Oh, boy.
Okay, try it the other way. There you go. Tilt up. Down. Now a little smile. Lose the smile. Drop your left ear. Your other left. Okay, the other way was better. Now drop them both. Hold it. Right there. And ever so slightly look up. Soup is on, baby!
You know, there's something odd and yet funny about a cat teaching a dog how to actually act like a dog. Kinda makes me wonder why she knows this. Either way, it works as people throw food at him, yet not for an adorable cat. Hypocrites. And eventually, they hit up one last home, which happens to house our final main character, Rhino, voiced by Mark Walton.
Do my eyes deceive me? Is this some apparition I see before me? Or could it be my hero? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! You're Bolt, the super dog! You're fully awesome!
Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say Po from Kung Fu Panda. Because, yeah, he's basically a fanboy that comes from having watched too much television. He's kinda like Olaf from Frozen, where his somewhat quiet to mild tone nature makes for a counter to loud and obnoxious comic relief characters. But the major difference?
An agent of the Green-Eyed Man, I presume?
Oh, you presume correctly. She's taking me to Penny.
You are vile vermin! How do you sleep at night? Penny's the most wonderful person ever. And she loves Bolt. And he's awesome. And you're a monster.
Olaf wasn't brainwashed by this world's equivalent to cats and dogs to where he would think that. Therefore, Olaf is more likable. Of course, since Bolt is still delusional and thinks he'd be our reliable asset, he ends up recruiting him. So, how are they gonna cross country this time? Oncoming train, and it's here Mittens finally realizes why Bolt is the way he is.
Every time you did this on the magic box, it was awesome.
Magic what?
You know, the magic box people stare at.
Wait a minute, does this magic box have moving pictures on it?
Yeah, and Bolt's pictures are the best.
Bolt's pictures. Of course! He's from a... Oh, no! Oh, no, wait! You are not a superhero!
Oops, missed my cue. Oh well! So finally she puts her paw down and explains to Bolt that he's not real, which goes exactly how you would imagine a cat talking to a dog about it.
Fake. Nothing you think is real.
That's preposterous.
Think about it, Bolt. Since you got lost, none of your powers are working, are they? For the first time, you're hungry, you're bleeding. I mean, do you really think that you were born with a birthmark in the exact shape of a lightning bolt?
You're ridiculous. Now get down here.
No.
Mittens, so help me, I will super bark you out of that tree.
Yeah, go nuts. Let's see how that works out for you. Oh, the super bark. Scary, scary. Yeah, that's really, really super.
It's not true. It's just not true.
Wow. That one felt really super. Wait. No, it didn't. Okay.
Okay, let me talk about the humor thus far, as they definitely have a good idea on what they want. Basically, instead of trying to do with like Cats and Dogs did by having characters act like they think more like us, to where the stuff they do is beyond what a normal animal would do, here it's a bit more grounded to reality and what animals are capable of, while having speech and some intelligence. Here I see a dog barking at a cat while they're just having an argument. That's funny to me since it might not seem like a big deal to them, while to us, we see this all the time. And another thing, having Mittens be the one close to reality while Bolt and Rhino are in their own little worlds adds some color to this group since her suffering is our delight when put against these two nut jobs. Especially when it comes to Bolt though. I like their chemistry, and it's one of the reasons why I like this particular cat and dog duo. Of course, their noise attracts animal control and they get captured. We transition over back to Penny, who in one earlier scene was doing what most pet owner characters do, mope. And now she's making lost pet posters. That is until her agent comes in with Bolt? Huh. Animal control must work fast to get him recognized and returned. Oh wait, it's a replacement. Yeah, it'd be too easy to end the movie that way.
It's time we were honest with you. If we don't get back into production, people are going to lose their jobs. Good people, with families.
But Bolt's still out there.
Now we feel for you. And the last thing we want to do is ask a little girl to make a grown-up decision. But it's come to that. We need you to move on. We need you to let Bolt go.
Now she's not wrong, as this is another matter of many lives outweighing one individual. But then why not just let this go through anyway so that if by chance he is found, then they can return to normal shooting? What, you don't want people thinking the star is missing while the stunt double is on screen? Meanwhile, Bolt tries breaking out while Mittens tells him exactly what's going to happen.
Listen to me, okay? We are being taken to a place where humans go animal shopping, all right? And this is what humans do. They always pick the cute ones, the ones that look like you, Bolt. But the rest of us never come back out.
It's true, you know. Splatoon already taught me that dogs are more popular than cats, after all. Rhino, after somehow coming all this way in a ball, comes to the rescue in a rather humorous manner.
Is it destiny? I've been expecting your call.
Oh, how funny fanboy characters can be. He opens the door to Bolt's cell and he breaks out, only to be told of what Rhino did, and then finally he comes to the realization that he's a fake.
You can, Bolt. Because all over this planet, there are animals who feel like they can't. Like a little hamster who once spent his days in an RV park, dreaming of the day when he, too, would save a little girl from danger and be told, "You did it. You did it, Rhino. You saved the day." They need a hero, Bolt. Someone who, no matter what the odds, will do what's right. They need a hero to tell them that sometimes the impossible can become possible if you're awesome!
Okay, in a strange and bizarre way, I can get behind his crazy logic. Like, I don't think he ever goes beyond thinking Bolt is fake, but he still believes in the heroic morality of doing what you can to help others and inspire them. While Rhino might not have too deep of a character growth, but at least he provides the kind of motivational boost his friends would need, in which now Bolt understands that he might not be that Bolt, but he can at least still try and save who he now considers a friend. So they track Mittens to the animal shelter and have to stealth their way in and... Okay, Rhino, never stop being funny. Fortunately, the only ones working here are two stiffs and an overreactive midget lady with pepper spray. Rhino causes a distraction by riling up some dogs with his plastic ball, while Bolt goes into the cat room where the only occupant is Mittens.
What are you doing here?
I'm busting you out.
You came all the way back here? For me?
Yeah.
But how'd you... I mean, you don't have any superpowers.
I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy day for you, huh?
It's only been a day? Whatever. They escape, but not before having their own Bay explosion. Very nice. Taking a mobile home on the go, Mittens admits to a rather unusual desire.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, okay? A little known cat secret. You know why we hate dogs? Because we want to be dogs. We have dog complexes.
But what do dogs do?
Slobber, sleep, chase tails, chew shoes. You don't exactly need a master's degree. You know, most dogs live in a place like this. And, well, I don't know, they do things like...
Out of this? But...
And this is your dog bowl.
What is?
This! The entire floor! It hits the ground, it goes to the hound. How cool is that? I got...
Knew it! Now these next few minutes are really where a lot of the bonding these two characters share really hit home. It almost feels as the writers know that dogs tend to have it better than cats, so they create a character who also thinks that way, to where it almost becomes see much and not overly complicated good bad morals. Plus you don't see this type of cat character often where they deep down want to be like the other dogs. She's pretty much an expert on them, which is great for Bolt because now he can start remembering of what he is rather than what he was originally taught to be. His identity crisis is it would have a similar premise, though be more like on a similar tone as Lilo and Stitch, Williams and Brian Howard. Only 18 months to produce the movie, which would now be under the title Bolt. From everything that happened in this movie, plus this it warms my heart every time, this is almost something you see from Pixar films. Which is funny because lately it feels like a reversal of attitudes on what's a Disney film and what's a Pixar film to audiences. This sort of reserved and leveled character development would likely not have been the same as Sanders envisioned, since his stuff tends to involve more strange-looking characters and story pieces. While I would have to wonder what the original product was like, I'm more amazed they were able to get this out in such good quality. And for what it's worth, I've been very enjoying, after spending time with Bolt, that she decides to build them a little condominium. Hoping they just live here for now on.
This one's mine, and this one thing for you. And get this, I found some styrofoam and I stuffed it inside, which I thought was both kind of creative. Privacy and completely soundproof.
What she's really saying is,
One day they'll pack up all their stuff and move away and take their love with them and leave their declawed cat behind to fend for herself.
will be a real thing, and it's also one of those topics I know people don't like to hear during a movie like this, but at the very least they only brought it up when it actually made sense to, and considering the TV show thing, it's fair for her to think that considering she's already experienced fake love. She's just trying to save him the trouble of another moving speech.
But he doesn't need us anymore.
trust. When the steely fangs of evil are sharpened and poised to strike, the hero must go and face his greatest challenge alone. But if Bolt's taught me anything, when your teammate's in trouble, you go. Whether they ask or not, you go. Not knowing if you're coming back dead or alive.
You went the other way.
Show. Tom's better at pitching. I'll let him take it from here. Tommy's got the spotlight.
Aliens.
Oh, snap.
Aliens?
Audiences love aliens.
Holler back.
It'll be huge, man. Huge.
You can't touch us.
I'll wait until this goes down, the obvious happens. He sees the replacement of him and thinks that what Mitten said was true and leaves. Only it turns out she still misses him, and the studio, Rhino runs off out of excitement, gets lectured, yada yada yada. How did Bolt not come across Penny sooner in the time it took the—
By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Mittens realizes that for once she is wrong and goes to convince him to go back. In the meantime, the big finale is being shot, but apparently no one taught that dog to act, which ends up knocking. They reenact the show, but with real motion. They find a vent, but at this point only Bolt can go through, and Penny is about close to death. So there's only one thing to do: reinvent the Super Bark so that it has a proper use.
Shh, quiet! Everyone be quiet!
It's the Super Bark!
It's coming from over there! Go! All right, we got an RT coming through, people! Make a hole!
And so the movie would end with Penny and Bolt safe, her mother deciding they quit the business, and when Penny wakes up, this will be like the ending to Bingo, and wait, who the hell are you? You're not Penny! Dr. Calico, what are you doing here? Wait, don't tell me this movie was all an act, and that this is actually a TV show within a movie within a TV show within a movie? No, it's just the studio decided to jump the shark, and they even adopted that storyline the Pigeons came up with. Somehow.
Aliens.
That is totally unrealistic.
Even the TV-obsessed hamster thinks that was dumb.
Absolutely redonkulous.
You could say
Hold up. Why are you two here? What, did that strange old lady kidnap you or something? No, Penny and her mother just adopted Rhino and Mittens. So at least Mittens gets what she wants again, while Bolt gets what he wants. And that's to spend a normal life with Penny.
Does that dog look familiar?
Nope. I never seen him before in my life.
So that was Bolt, and yeah, it's still really good. One of the best dog films ever because it feels less like just another dog film, and more like a Disney movie. That just happens to focus on a dog. The movie does a nice take on a character being transformed from one thing into another, let alone done with animals. I love the dynamics they have going for Bolt and Mittens and what comes of it. I love the humor that spawns from their relationship, Rhino and his quirks, and just about everything else that I found humorous. Like when it came down to the actual movie and not the TV show stuff, I felt relaxed and quite pleasant as it played things as naturally as possible and almost in a way defying commonly used tropes over the course of the movie. It's also one of those movies that benefits from not having a major antagonist, just a character who gets lost and has to make it back with help from unexpected people, while finding his true self, because now that I think about it, It would feel like making Calico the big bad guy of the movie seemed like a shoo-in for the sake of having a villain when none is really needed. I also wish that Penny had a bit more to do, but honestly, that was just the only weak point in this movie. The animation is surprisingly good for something that took a year and a half to do as opposed to the usual time it takes to do this. But even with that, and even with the revisions from the change in directors, it managed to stand on its own and really paved the way for later CGI movies. Princess and the Frog and any film after would even adopt the kind of visual credits bit that always puts a smile on my face, as it shows how much they loved working on it. Overall, I think that little excerpt on the DVD cover is true. At the time anyway, this is the best Disney film since The Incredibles. And I definitely see why, and they can only get better from here. I can't possibly recommend this enough. Animation fans, Disney fans, just everybody get this movie. It's just another shining example of what Disney can do when they are at their best. I'm the Media Hunter. Media's my prey, and reviewing them my way.